You're watching the LVSHL only on Nick's Hockey Broadcast. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to PPL Center, home of the Lehigh Valley Phantoms for the 2026 Phantoms Cup. Tonight is the Junior Varsity Championship between the Northampton Konkrete Kids and the Easton Red Rovers. Hello, everybody. My name is Nicholas Garofalo, back to broadcast the Phantoms Cup for the fourth consecutive year. Happy to be here once again. And we got a lot of games here coming up here tonight at PPL Center. We got 3 tonight. We got 3 Monday and possibly even another one next Wednesday for Varsity. But we'll talk more about that schedule a little bit later on as the Konkrete Kids, very familiar with making the finals, not just their JV team, but all their hockey teams just in general over these last few years. They are the defending champions of the Phantoms Cup last year. They've actually won the Phantoms Cup 3 of the last 4 seasons. They fell short against Emmaus 2 years ago, but they are here once again in the year 2026. Number 1 seed of the Junior Varsity Division, a record of 9-0-2, and they ended the season on a hot winning streak, winners of 4 in a row, heading right into the postseason. As for their opponent in the number 2 seed, Easton Red Rovers, a record of 7-2-2. It's been a bit of time since they were last here in the finals, if at all. They have never won the Phantoms Cup in JV in their history, and this is only the 5th year that Junior Varsity or below has had teams in the Phantoms Cup. As for the Red Rovers, as I was talking about Northampton, how they ended their season for the Red Rovers, they have been a bit of a mixed schedule in terms of results to end the year. They had a tie to start 2026 on January 2nd, then they lost to Northampton, won against Parkland and lost to Northampton. So, bit of a bumpy way to end the year, but they at least got that win against Parkland on January 11th as the game between the Konkrete Kids and Red Rovers is about to get underway. And before this game begins, I want to quickly say thank you to the Phantoms for allowing me to broadcast this tournament once again. It's a privilege. I have loved doing this the last few years. This is my 4th year covering the LVSHL playoffs, aka the Phantoms Cup here, and should be a fun series of games here once again. This is also, I should mention, day 3 of the Phantoms Cup. We had 3 games yesterday here involving middle school and varsity. We even had a few games on Monday. I'll talk more about those games a little bit later on, as this one's about to get underway. We have just received word on why the delay of this game has been happening. They've been having some technical difficulties with the Jumbotron here at PPL Center. You guys can't see it. Let me move my camera up. It's the new Jumbotron here. The Brooks brothers placed here over the last offseason for the Phantoms. Looks really nice too. But they were saying they can track the score and the time in the scores box, but for some reason they are unable to display it on the new Jumbotron. So some little issues there. Hopefully that doesn't deter the game in any way, as this one is finally about to get underway here. And we now know our starting goaltender for the Easton Red Rovers is number 2, Tyler Cunnington. 5-2-2, goals against average 3.93, save percentage of .837, and finally, after a 6-minute delay, we're about to get started. Foul card for the face-off, and we're underway. It's the Konkrete Kids and the Red Rovers in the LVSHL Phantoms Cup Junior Varsity Championship game. The winner takes it all. The loser goes home with nothing. Again, Northampton has won the JV Phantoms Cup 3 of the last 4 years. Easton has not won a Phantoms Cup ever in their history. As the Konkrete Kids bring it over the line on the right wing. This is held on by Becker. Set it across to the left circle. And that shot, they score! Less than 1 minute into the game, Northampton strikes. They go up 1-0 here in the hockey game. Carson Rader, his 17th of the season. And even though we don't know the official time on the clock, I'm pretty sure that's less than a minute. into this contest. Last time Raider had a goal was back on January 23rd in a game against the Emmaus Hornets. He had 4 goals and an assist. He actually hasn't had a point since then, so he gets back on the score sheet, and so Northampton leads 1-0. And I'll update the score on the comment section in a minute, so you guys are up to date with that. As Easton, and now the scoreboard has turned off, actually. I don't think you guys can see that, so they're trying to fix it, but we do play on here in the meantime. That shot that saved there by Desmond Murray off his 2 pads. Konkrete kids cleared it into the zone on the left wing. That was from Spencer Alt. A few Alt brothers have played on Northampton's teams over the last few years. In front of that save made there in front there as the Konkrete kids continue their offenses. Puck deflects off of Rivera. We get a whistle and a halt to play. Technically, our first whistle. The only stoppage we had of this game was the goal. And actually, I know it's just saying you couldn't see. Now I can show you the scoreboard. It is off right now. So I'm sure they'll get that fixed soon enough. This is not the first day of the FAMS Cup. I mean, this is the first season with the new Jumbotron, but it's been here since, I think, like some point in the summer, if not early fall, for when they installed it here at PPL Center. But we play on it anyway. Gibbons on the right side. Try to set it towards the blue line. It was almost corralled by the stick there of Beckel. Speaking of Beckel, he'll tip it on the corner and it'll go behind the net to be taken by Grubbs. Grubbs wearing 36 in orange and black. Here are the right boards, comes in over the line. Grubbs trying to dangle around the defender, but it's broken up there by the Red Rovers. And moving back the other way, this is McDaniel, who broke up the defensive play. He's wearing the Eric Lindros 88. McDaniel's a shot from a tough angle there. Trying to go high side. Missed the net of Murray. Shot there from the right point, deflected en route. And will not go. This is tipped back towards the left point, and the Red Rovers defense briefly clears it back. And Caden Bunko flips it on in the other way. Bunko, a big fan of Nick's hockey broadcasts over the years. And now the scoreboard, as well as the lights around the stadium, is kind of have a green color going on here. I mean, it is March. St. Patrick's Day is coming around the corner, but I don't think it being green was intentional. But anyways, enough about that. Back to the game. Becker skates it back defensively to his own set. He'll backhand it back to his defenders. He'll go to the recent goal scorer. That was Raider who had it for a second there. Faracaro on the corner. It's tipped back there for Raider on the right dot, centering to the left for Bucko. Flipping it towards the goal, and that goes over the net there and wide of Connaughton. And so Easton on defense will attempt to get it back up with the Northampton offense has been dominating early on in this game, even though I can't say how much time has passed. There we go. The clock is now fixed, and so is the score. 13:45 to go in the period. 1-0 Northampton. Shots in net are 3-2 in favor of the Konkrete kids. So finally, everything is fixed, and we're good to go. And as I say that, we have a delayed penalty. This will be on Easton. Northampton will go on the power play. And serving this penalty, it's going to be a tripping call. I'm trying to see who it is. That's going to be on Aiden Spielman. His first penalty of the season. So he goes into the box of shame for 2 minutes, and a 5-on-4 power play for Northampton is now underway. Win it off the draw, just keeping it onside. It was rough. Actually, no, it's a delayed offside. Actually, no, I thought they didn't call play dead there. I thought they were going to keep it alive, but they do call that offside on Nathan Ruff. And Easton will clear it down. No icing since the Red Rovers are on the penalty kill. Jameson Dolan, he's been very good this year. 12 goals for 24 points. Had it for a second there. And Ruff will have to take it defensively for the K-Kids. He'll 4-1 towards Flowers. He'll be taken there on the right side instead. Easton will flip it off the right boards. It was tipped by Ruff on the point as Northampton keeps up the pressure. Passes to the right side. Here's Dolan. Dolan trying to get the side, and then it'll bounce on through to Alt. Spencer Roll. I remember his older brother Tanner playing for Northampton's varsity team in the past. He definitely gave my team Southern Lehigh trouble in the playoffs a few years ago. He was a pretty good forward for what he is. Minute to go on the power play for the Konkrete Kids as they're up 1-0 in the junior varsity championship game. Ruff over the line, lost possession. He's wearing the John LeClaire number 10, and I say that because these Northampton jerseys are in the design of those Flyers uniforms that were worn during the Legion of Doom era, come to think of it. So, yeah, it's more fitting he's wearing number 10. And Easton LeClaire once more through center, but not all the way down. Becker brings it past the line. Becker on the left duck, going in on net, wraps it around, save made there by Connaughton as he got a piece of it with the left pad. He saw the wraparound coming there, and he made the big stop there as the power play is 15 seconds away from expiring. Valcara try to clear into the zone as Norwood, we're in 0-0, will shoot it on in. The only time I've seen a 0-0 on a jersey, actually, besides this case, would be in mascots, kind of like Gritty, actually, for the Philadelphia Flyers, wears 0-0. And Northampton almost tries to wrap it around, but they hesitate to make the play. Power play has ended as Easton survives the kill. But still 1-0 Northampton early in the game. Surface. Had it for a second, but he lost it. And Rader, the recent goal scorer, scoring less than 1 minute into the game, had the pass intercepted near the Easton bench. Checks are made there by Gibbons near the bench as well, and now the play is broken up, and Northampton brings it back. It's Caden Kish. Norwood will hold on here. Forehands one to his other D-men. Kish trying to retaliate and skate the puck right back. It's loose there. Kish trying to hold on to it. He couldn't. It'll go to the point for Caden Bucko. Bucko will wait. Wristing a shot. That tipped wide. It wristed wide. It might have ricocheted en route, but it would not go. And Becker, forehand one. Go to the forward there, Enrico. And that'll be shot wide of the net for Easton. Gibbons, that was tipped off of the stick of Caitlin Molikoff, sister of former Konkrete kid Gavin Molikoff, who is here in the building tonight. And Gavin's currently a member of my college team, the Kutztown Golden Bears. Had a pretty good freshman season as we get a halt to play. And one thing I just noticed, oh, there we go. The clock was still running for a few extra seconds there, but they eventually brought it to a stop. As they'll have the face-off on the offside dot. And we play on. And one thing I actually just noticed, right behind the Easton bench is the Phantom senior video producer, Doug. And his desk was right in front of mine when I interned here last year. Good guy. I didn't know he'd be here tonight. I must be doing some videography of the games. I look forward to seeing that a little later on for some good promotional material for the Phantoms Cup. Good to see Doug there. Back to this game here. Here's a shot that's saved there by Murray. The chance there from Calvin Titus. And that shot on the side of the cage was deflected off the stick of Flowers. 9 minutes to go in the period. Still 1-0 Konkrete Kids. The shots in net are 5-3 in favor of Northampton. Titus will shoot it on in. This will be cleared back to the corner. Norwood with a drive from the right dot, and that goes wide. And Northampton will control here. Dolan, nice backhand best to Alt. He's got Dolan as a trail trying to bust around the defender. Alt still has it backhand in front. Tucked into the air there by Dolan. How can he not finish it? Dolan was right there on the right side of the net, and I think it may have been blocked in front. He hesitated to rip it home, or he just couldn't corral the stick. And meanwhile, the Red Rovers move back on 2-on-2. Noah tried to make a centering pass, blocked by Decker. Comes in front of the blue paint, and that went wide of Murray. Good chances for Easton, or I should say Northampton just a moment ago. Back comes Decker on a breakaway. Decker in on net, forehand. Save made by the goaltender, Connaughton, as he gets the stop. Again, he's 5-2-2 on the year, as he's trying to give his Red Rovers a chance to get back in this game, but we still got a long one left to go here at PPL Center. Raider. Backhands one at center. Decker. Forehands one in front. Over the line here. This is Caro. Decker with a wrist shot. See me. Rebound. They score! He's got another one. Carson Raider, his second of the period. And Northampton leads by 2. Raider, his 18th goal of the season. What a start for him, and his team goes up 2-0. Again, the last time he had a point of any kind was back on January 23rd. Then he had no points against Parkland on February 6th, was out for the last game against Easton, and he has 2 goals tonight. So what a start there for Raider. I'm looking at my stat sheet here. The only points he had against Easton heading into the game was a goal and 2 assists in one game a few weeks ago. He's got 2 goals. We still got 7 minutes to go in the first period. Ruff keeps it onside. Decker on the left point. And it's tipped over Easton stick. The Red Rovers move back on 2-on-1. They'll bring it in over the line. Ruff broke up the play as he ran to the stick there of Gibbons. Gibbons didn't have much room to get an angle there, but Ruff caught up to him and stopped the play. Back comes Northampton the other way. Raider, a shot from the right dot, missed the net and wide. This is Grubbs. Line change for both teams. Grubbs tried to toe drag through the defenseman there, but it was broken up there off of another stick. As they'll clear it there for Caitlin Molikoff. Shot there in front that went wide of Matute. Aiden Matute to be exact. I remember his brother Tyler Matute, who wore 14 for Northampton's Varsity several years ago. A toe drag shot is fanned there and wide. There from Dendridge. He had a chance there. We're at number 5 for Easton. This is backhanded through center by Grubbs. And Gravity brings it down. Surface will clear into the zone. Easton trying to get more chances, or at least more puck possession here, as Grubbs will have to get this out of behind his net of Murray. Grubbs coming in over the line, but that was way offside. Matute and Molikoff were already past the blue line before him with the puck. And we get a stoppage play. 5:38 remains on the clock here in the Junior Varsity Championship game in the first period. And we now play on. Grubbs back has one. Dolan trying to skate away. He will take it. Dolan on the right wing. Risking a shot. Hit the iron in the side of the cage there. There wasn't much space there as the goaltender was hugging the left post. Another shot there is saved there. Third try there. Kannai made a tandem of stops there. As the Easton goaltender, he's also wearing, ironically, phantom color pads. You can see a little orange in his equipment. Back come the Red Rovers. That shot on the right pad saved there by Desmond Murray. And a halt to play here. Think we have a penalty? Yes, we do. Interference is the call. It is on Easton. And serving in the box of shame for Easton, trying to see his number. Because, again, these jersey numbers only show the number on the back. It's going to go on Rivera. And for Chase Rivera, that's only his second penalty of the season. And Northampton already leading by 2, attempting to extend their lead even further. But the Red Rovers will take it off the tie-up. Norwood slaps it. Saved by Murray. Deflected off his pads. And it goes out of play. Again, if you guys didn't catch earlier, I mentioned the schedule for tonight's FAMS Cup. We have this game going on right now for Junior Varsity. We have the JV consolation game between Emmaus and Parkland at 7:30. And at 9, we have the Varsity best of 3 series starting. It's game 1 between the Lehigh Valley Saints and the Northampton Konkrete Kids. I'll be here right to the end today. I'll be for all the games Monday as well. Dolan on the wing. Try to tip it on through. Goes off the right boards and behind the net. Alt trying to control. Picked up there by Northampton once more. Dolan circles around. Dolan a wrist shot. They missed the net wide. If not. And Easton will clear it down. Still 1:20 to go on the power play. As we have a pretty good crowd here at PPL Center. This is tipped back by the stick. And a short-handed chance to hit the iron. Oh, great chance there for Easton Dandridge as he whipped on a shot earlier several minutes ago and a great short-handed steal. And he was that close to getting his Red Rovers back into the hockey game. But they still trailed 2-0. Dolan in front of the net, tipped up a defender. Backhand shot, they score! It's 3-0 Konkrete Kids. Vince Valcaro, his 15th of the season. And Northampton is running away with this period thus far. For Valcaro, he is now on a 2-game point streak. He has 3 goals in the last 2 games. Before having no points against Parkland, he had a bit of a long point streak going on, with points in 9 straight games, dating back from October 26th all the way to January 23rd. So he's had a heck of a year, too, for the K-Kids. And so Northampton, 3 goals within 12 shots on net. 3.5 to go in the period as Northampton leads by 3. Trying to win their 2nd straight Phantoms Cup in JV. Centering for C, Desmond Murray with the right pad. Easton trying to get at least some tally on the board. That shot on net was developed by Luke Esteo, so he had a chance there, but Murray stood his ground. And I mentioned earlier, Murray in last year's Phantoms Cup, if my memory serves me, he played really well in his JV team's playoff run. And back comes Easton on another chance. And that save by Murray, again, that was Easton Dandridge, who had the recent chance on goal, and he gets another one there. Dandridge is tied for 3rd most goals on this Red Rovers team with 14 on the year. They'll move the face-off to the right dot of Desmond Murray. And we'll see who goes for this tie-up. It's going to be Flowers against Norwood. Actually, I'm sorry. That's, yeah, it is Flowers. I thought I got the name wrong there. I did not. And Easton won the draw, but Dolan steals it away. 4 hands, 1 in front. He'll chase for the puck. Dolan, he's got it. Backhand shot. And then deflected off the side of the cage. Here's Flowers letting one fly. Blocker save cannot as he turns into the corner. Or deflects into the corner is what I should say, really. Butko wristing a shot, and that one off the glass. Norwood, 4 hands, 1 in front to Rivera. Actually had a brief conversation with his dad before the game, saying he's here to watch his Easton team and watch his son play here in the Junior Varsity Championship here at PPL Center. Caden Butko, 4 hands, 1 off the right boards. Deflected off the stick of McDaniels. Whacked away by the stick of all back towards Butko. And racing after this puck for Easton, that was Van Name. And the Konkrete Kids take it right back. This is Alt. Centering in front for Dolan. Couldn't get a shot. Then takes a wrist shot. And then ricocheted wide. Tad less than 2 minutes to go in the period. As it's been all Northampton thus far. They're up 3-0. Make that 4-0. They've scored again. Shane Grubbs, 6th of the season. A 4-0 lead with 1:45 to go in the period. So there's a correction. It's 4-0. And actually, come to think of it, I see him a little behind on the scoreboard here in the comments. Sorry about that, but there we go. 4-0 Konkrete Kids as Grubbs gets a goal there, top bar and in. As his first goals in quite a while, actually, I'm sorry, I was looking at the wrong stat sheet here. Let's see here for Grubbs. I'll get back to that in a minute. I have a stat pack actually I made for this year's Phantoms Cup. I'm still getting a little used to it here. Okay, here we go for Grubbs. Last time he scored a goal, ironically, was against Easton. He had a goal and 2 assists back on January 2nd. Grubbs. Actually, no, that is Kish. I'm sorry. Grubbs was 36. Kish was 37. Northampton holds on the corner that was centered in front of, blocked by a Easton stick, I should say. And fed it back to the right side for Caden Kish. On the angle, cutting on through, blocked by a stick. Comes back for a rough, lifting in front, deflected off the stick on the side. Net there, a foul, Caro, and that would not go. Raider trying to make a backhand pass to the side of the net for Kish. Couldn't connect on the play. Forgot to mention, we've passed the last minute to play in the period. There's 35 seconds left. Usually I say last minute to play, but I missed it there. My bad. Tute centering, scores! Raider, a hat trick in the first period. A 5-0 lead for the Orange and Black, and they are running away with this one. We still got 2 periods to go in this game, or at least 2 more, I should say. His 19th of the year. What a season he has had. And for Raider, this is his 4th hat trick of the year. He had 4 goals against the Mays. He had 3 against the Mays in another game. And he had 4 against the Mays. So all of his hat tricks until now have been against the Hornets, not in this case. As we get towards the end of the first period, Northampton, yeah, it's been nothing but Konkrete kids getting goals on the board thus far. 7 seconds to go in the period. Easton trying to get one last gasp to end the first. And that's going to do it for the first period. Northampton leads 5-0 after 1. Shots on net 16-9 in favor of the Konkrete kids. We'll be back for the second period. Second period between the Northampton Konkrete kids and the Easton Red Rovers in the 2026 Phantoms Cup JV Championship is about to get underway. Northampton leads 5-0. Shots on net 16-9. Konkrete kids. We have a hat trick from Carson Raider. We have a goal from Vince Valcaro, as well as Shane Grubbs. It's been nothing but Northampton thus far. Still got 2 periods of play here. 2 17-minute periods to play, to be exact. As Easton needs a lot of things to go right if they want to get back into this hockey game. As Desmond Murray makes his 10th save of the night as he holds on. And for Northampton this year, I mean, we'll see if they get a 6th goal, but when they've scored more than 5 goals per game, like 6 goals or more, they have a record of 8-0-1 this year. So when they've scored a lot, they typically don't let go of these leads, at least according to the stat sheet throughout the entire season. As look at a shot on net that's saved here by Connaughton in front. As, again, these Konkrete kids, they've just been dominating puck possession so far. But we got a long game left to go here at PPL Center. The play on the wall. It's forehanded to Buckkill on the point. And we turned away by another stick deflected en route. This is Raider with 3 goals. All right, try to center it in front. Valcaro with a wrist shot. That goes wide. And Buckkill will have to retrieve it here for the K-Kids. Shoots one down, delayed offside, and Northampton wiped off. As Stu, Kish ran into him, and Kish will take it on the corner. He gets riled there by Van Name. And the puck will now come free for McDaniel. Again, wearing 88 for Easton. As they'll shoot it in and off the left corner to the other side for Grubbs, who scored in the first period. He'll take his time here. He'll forehand one in front for Kish. Grubbs, nice move there. He made a steal, deflected off of the stick there. Rivera, gravity brings the puck down. Grubbs still has the puck. It's tripped from behind on a legal play, or he seems just to lose his balance. Forehands off on the angle, and a save by Connaughton, and he'll squeeze it with 15-13 to go in the period. And while we're at this little break here, I'll briefly recap you guys the games we've had here in the Phantoms Cup so far in Day 1, which was on Monday, we had a few games. Emmaus beat Parkland in the elementary division 11-1. Then we had a game between Easton and Nazareth, where the Red Rovers in elementary beat the Blue Eagles 12-2. And then we also had the first varsity game between Northampton and Parkland. Parkland back in the playoffs for the second straight year, as Northampton wins that game 9-1, as we have an icing here against the Red Rovers. Then on day 2, which was yesterday, we had 2 games from middle school. The first one being a thrilling 5-4 victory for the Nazareth Blue Eagles over the Emmaus Hornets. Then we had another game for middle school. It was Northampton and Parkland, as the Konkrete kids defeated the Trojans 9-6. And then in the last game, we had our second varsity game between the Lehigh Valley Saints and the Emmaus Hornets, as the Saints won that game 8-0. And the strange thing for the Saints is that usually, what I've seen in these playoffs for varsity, when a team wins their semifinal, they at least get a day or two. The rest for the Saints, they just played last night. They have to start the final right away. But I wonder if they're almost just not complaining about that. They got a nice win last night. They have momentum, and they're probably ready to go here, as Connaughton makes a glove save and will hold on there. But we got plenty of games here tonight, as well as next week. We got 3 games on Monday. We got the elementary championship, the middle school championship, in game 2 of the varsity series. And if the varsity series, which is best of 3, needs a game 3, that'll be on Wednesday, March 11th. I'll be here for all these games here for the remainder of this year's Phantoms Cup. Fan name for anyone. This went off of the defensive sector of Morrison Heights. And we get a penalty here, it looks like. Let's see. Or at least a halt to play. It might not have been a penalty. No, it was not. I'm sorry. I think I misread that situation there. As they'll have the face-off here, it'll be Gibbons for the tie-up for Easton. Couldn't come up with it. It's one there off the draw from Enerco. And Grubbs brings it over the line. I almost thought that was offside for a second. It was not a penalty. Grubbs with the shot. Goes off the top bar, actually, or the top side of the net. I should say, not the bar. You would have heard if that went into the net. And call play dead here. I think they called it for an offside. I missed why they called the whistle last time and didn't miss it that time in this case. And the game of hockey has been, come to think of it, it's been very busy here at PPL Center these last few days. Obviously, we had the Phantom Cup start on Monday. We had games yesterday. We got games now. And we got the Lehigh Valley Phantoms, a 2-game homestand starting tomorrow. They got 2 games against the Charlotte Checkers tomorrow at 7. So as the Phantoms will celebrate the 250th birthday of the United States. And then also they'll have a game against Charlotte on March 7th, which is this Saturday. That game also starts at 7. You can watch that game on Flow Hockey, announced by Bob Rochuk, or listen to Steve Degler call the game on Service Electric Cable TV. And, of course, you can listen to Phantoms Radio on the Phantoms 365 app. Grubbs keeps it onside. Northampton continuing their pressure here. Raider with a shot deflected on route. Saved there by Connaughton in front of the crease there, denying the chance of Falcaro. Easton trying to get it out of their zone here. They can't. Norwood got tangled up with a Northampton player trying to see what that was. Here's Matute with a shot, and he got nothing but the glass there. Ruff trying to kick this free. Kish will chase it on the left boards. Here's Ruff on the left point. Risking a shot, save Connaughton and Hill. He tried to cover it. He couldn't. It's blocked in front there to Raider. He has it. Right wing pass for save Connaughton as he comes up big with the stop. Valcaro looking a little frustrated after that chance on goal. And Connaughton, the goaltender for Easton, got very fortunate there. He tried to cover it. He couldn't. And it almost costed his team a goal there, but he is able to come up with the stop in that case. Northampton will possess off the tie-up. McDaniel. Tipped puck goes back to Norwood. Left wing feed blocked by the stick there of Ruff. And it's cleared back on in. It's loose in the blue paint, but nobody there for Northampton to tip it home as Decker gets a shot. Save another chance. Cannon with the stop as he sprawls from right to left. And the Easton faithful here showing their appreciation for their goaltender. Flowers and Norwood for the draw. And Northampton keeps it on in. Dolan from the left point. That goes off the backboards and wide. Flowers backhands wide. Deflected off the stick there. Trying to see who that was. That went off of Titus. Matute to Alt. He'll come in over the line with Dolan on the left side. Tipped off of his stick. And back comes Rivera. 2-on-2 for Easton. Rivera with Norwood on the wing. Rivera a shot. Glove save. Desmond Murray. And he'll squeeze. With 11 and change to go in the second period, a 5-0 lead for Northampton. And one thing I want to mention since we're at it, it's definitely different this year for how they're doing the playoffs for JV. Typically for each division, they have at least 3 games or more. Like I'll give you an example for like elementary and middle school. In their divisions, will have typically the 2 JV games and then the championship game. In varsity, you have the 2 semifinal games and then the best of 3 series in the finals. Same thing usually goes for JV, except the finals just a 1 game. Grubbs attempting to do it with cross move, couldn't. Backhand stuff, save, cannot, and he'll hold on. Well, back to what I was saying. This year, all 4 teams of the JV division have made the Phantoms Cup playoffs, and that is Easton, Northampton, and Madison Parkland, but we're not even having semifinals. For this game, we have the championship game. And right after this, we have an exhibition game, basically, a consolation game between Emmaus and Parkland. And for what I know, I talked to some of the parents before the game. It looks like the league requested that they have those games. I'm assuming or not assuming, I was hearing it's because the players were thinking they might not have much of a chance to win in the first round against either Easton or Northampton at that. So they at least get a game that could be pretty competitive, and that game will be coming up at 7:30. You can watch that game here also on the hockey broadcast. As we get an icing here on Easton, and they'll bring the face off all the way back down into the Red Rovers end of the rink. Off this face-off, Easton will control briefly that blocked pass from Anastillo. It's brought back there by the Red Rovers. Van Name flips it on in defensively at center. Decker, forehands one for Height. Height will hit it off the left boards, trying to connect there for Molotov. Couldn't connect on the play, and that will be an icing here against Northampton. Actually, I want to share a little story because not everyone watches might know. So, Gavin Molotov, who currently plays for my team, the Kutztown Golden Bears, in college, they're in the ACHA D2 team, or at least they're going to be a full-time ACHA next year. We call him Molly the Great One because I've been writing articles for Kutztown Ice Hockey this year, and at one point I kind of over-exaggerated comparing him to Wayne Gretzky to his great playmaking ability. Definitely a bit of a stretch, but became kind of a meme. And Molotov did really well in his first year in college, and he played great for Northampton for many years as he's won 2 varsity championships in 2023 and 2024. And we now see his little sister, Caitlin, playing tonight. Also wearing Gavin's formal number 10. Actually, there's 2 players for Northampton wearing number 10, and that's Ruff and Molotov. As we have some confusion here, there's a penalty, and the Easton coaching staff does not seem too pleased with this penalty being called here. It's going to be on Endridge, so he goes in for 2 minutes. Actually, I did not see the official signal. I'm actually going to re-look at my instant replay here I have watching this stream here. Let's see what they called the penalty for. It's an interference call. I think you guys might have seen the signal. I just missed it. But that's the penalty. And Northampton goes right back to the power play. They'll tip this back to Kish. 3-on-3, or 3-on-2 for a second that was developing there as Kish tries to make a trailer pass behind himself there for Valcaro. Kish on the left corner. We'll set one off the boards. Left point, Becker. Flipping one down for Kish. Couldn't hold on to the play there. Arcaro will skate it on around. He'll wait, look at some options. Arcaro trying to make a side net pass and went off of a defender's stick. Centering towards the slot. Raider a shot. Cannot with the stop with his pads, and he'll hold on. Raider, again, already 3 goals, a hat trick in the first period alone, trying to get more tallies in this JV Phantoms Cup championship game. And we now play on the Red Rovers attempt to clear it on that. It's blocked in front, and Northampton takes possession. Raider behind the net, swings it off the board towards the right point. Caden Bucko. Raider, right corner. Towards the right dot. Backhand to the left dot. He was attempting to get it to Grubbs, but he couldn't hold on to the puck. Arcaro behind the net. 4-1. Raider, left dot. About a minute to go in the power play. Net deflects and goes off the wrong net. You gotta hit the net on the ice, Raider, not the one over the glass. And of course, that was simply a deflection. But regardless, it goes out of harm's way for Easton as they'll get a little break here. Rivera takes it off the tie-up. Norwood shorthanded and will move on in for the Red Rovers. They'll shoot it wide of Desmond Murray. As Murray has not been too busy tonight. So far, he's saved 13 of 15 shots. Easton fans looking for a penalty. They won't get it. Northampton moves in with numbers. Grubbs shoots on the side of the cage and that missed it wide. I think the fans are looking for a call after that collision we witnessed near the Red Rovers bench. 25 seconds to go in the power play. Here's Rivera, short-handed, break, save, Desmond Murray. Nice right pad stop. And a halt to play. Here's Rivera, short-handed, break, save. And we have the penalty. Couldn't see who went into the box there. I was trying to see the number on who they put in there. I was just looking at my notes and I missed it. I'm sorry, guys, about that. I usually try to get these right. But we have another penalty on the Red Rovers, apparently. It's Rivera. Strange enough, he gets a penalty right after he literally just had a short-handed breakaway, but they catch him for a call there, and they'll stop playing. Now the officials are talking with the Easton coaching staff. So it'll be 5-on-3 for 18 seconds in favor of Northampton. But then it'll be 5-on-4 for a little bit. And we now play on. Northampton, plenty of room to work with here on this AHL-size ice here at PPL Center. Decker behind the net. He'll drop it for Matute. Actually, no, I'm sorry, that's Alt. I thought I saw 6. It's 81. My bad. Go. It's way off on the number there. And Easton will kill off the 5-on-3, but it'll be a 5-on-4 now for 1:30. Dolan had for a second. Alt at center. Forehands one from center ice all the way down and misses the net of Kanat. Easton killing off this penalty, or penalties, I should say, pretty good in these last few moments here. And Alt will skate it in over the line, trying to get an edge around Norwood. Alt, behind the net he goes. Has Grubbs, got it to him on the left dot. Grubbs, high shot by Decker, and he got nothing but the glass. 2 Red Rovers collided with each other there. That was Norwood as well as Dandridge. They appear to be A-OK as we play on. Left dot pass for Grubbs. Centering for the slot there for Dolan, and he shot it wide. He tried to go top bar, but he missed the net. 45 seconds on the power play. And the Red Rovers attempt to clear. They still can't get it out. All on the wing. All trying to cut through. Got tangled up there as he went, as his stick, or his skates, I should say, got tangled up off the stick of the defender, Dandridge. Line change for the Konkrete kids, at least on the right side of their line. Norwood fell down near the penalty box. Decker brings it over the line. Decker waits and wristing one, deflected en route, and now go wide of Connaughton. 10 seconds on the power play. Kish. The centerman will bring it past the blue line here. Running into the forward there. McDaniel. Scramble away trying to hear Grubbs. Center there for Raider. Save made there. Kanan as he got a piece of it. I think he got his glove on it. A tad less than 6 minutes to go in the period as the Konkrete Kids still lead 5-0 as the power play has edited out of the box is Rivera. And that shot saved by Desmond Murray. McDaniel on the left up, fires, he scores! Easton gets on the board. Helen McDaniel, his 10th of the season. That ends the shutout for Desmond Murray. And Easton now trails 5-1. Still a big deficit for them, but every goal counts. Every little thing counts. In the games like these, especially for the Phantoms Cup Championship, that is no doubt on the line. Entering the playoffs, McDaniel was on a 3-game pointing data shot saved by Desmond Murray. Rivera scores 2 goals in less than 10 seconds. Rivera and the Red Rovers are now trailing by 3. Chase Rivera, his 15th of the year. He just caused the recent penalty, gets redemption. And the Red Rovers still trail 5-2, but they're giving themselves a little hope. Again, I was talking to Rivera's dad before the game began. That's pretty cool. We got to see his son score in this game. But back to talking about the first goal scored by Kellen McDaniel. He was entering the playoffs with a 3-game point streak with a goal and as well as 5 assists. He didn't dress for the last game against Northampton to end the regular season, but he gets a goal there. And now talking about Rivera, he's had a point in every single game this year, a goal in almost all of them. So he's made a difference, or he's tried to keep his team in games every single game of the year. So good for him. He's had a point in every single game, regular season and playoffs. Here's Rivera again. Save Murray. And he'll get it with the glove. And the Easton fans here showing their appreciation for the efforts that their teams are showing. And I think we have a penalty here. We do. It's on Northampton. Grubbs is going to the box of shame. It's a cross-checking call. And we just had 2 goals within a matter of seconds for the Red Rovers, and now a chance on the power play. 4:25 to go in the second period. 5-2 Northampton, shots on net. 31-21 K-Kids, but Easton has gotten 2 goals on the board within these last few minutes, and now they are on the power play, trailing by 3. Everything, or every little thing counts. And the Red Rovers hope to come back as Spielman tried to keep it. He tried to keep the puck in the zone, but he was unable to keep it onside. And they'll have the face-off on the offside dot here. And we're about to continue the play on. Easton, and come to think of it, looking at the scores they've had, they have a record of 0-2-2 against Northampton this year, with just no wins, 2 losses, and 2 ties. So they've never won against the Konkrete Kids this season. But you only need 1 win to win a championship in this situation. But they're going to need more to go right, as we'll get a halt to play here with 3:47 to go in the period. They'll have to redo the face-off here in the offside dot. Is that what they? Sorry, that's what they called the play for. Forgot to say that. Minute 18 to go in the Easton power play. Northampton will kill some time. Van Name, forehands one, attempting to get it to the stick of Astille, but he couldn't hold on to it. Decker, flipping one off the glove of Caro. As Easton attempts to clear it out, they can't. Raider on the corner. Takes it behind the goal. Will stop. Waits. He attempts to center it, but regardless, he's doing a good job on this penalty kill. And now this will go to one of the recent goal scorers, McDaniel. He'll come in over the line. McDaniel will wait. He'll fire, and now ricochet off the glass behind the net of Murray. Ruff attempted to clear. He couldn't get it out of the zone. 26 seconds to go in the power play. They'll attempt to center it back. Grubbs will actually, that's better. Carl actually cleared it down. Grubbs is the one serving the penalty for Northampton. There's no way he could have cleared the puck there. He'll be out of the box in 15 seconds. Dolan off the boards. And Easton, definitely not the power play they would have won. At least they didn't give up a shorthanded tally. But Northampton did a good job preventing the Red Rovers from getting any quality chances on goal as Grubbs is out of the box. We're back to 5-on-5 hockey, at least for now. We'll attempt to bring this back defensively. Forehanded there. It's intercepted by Decker for Northampton. Decker, nice move he made there on Norwood. And back comes Dolan. He scores! Dolan, top shelf, and in, and Northampton gets another one. Their sixth goal of the night. Dolan, his 13th of the year, and it's a 6-2 lead for Northampton. And Dolan has been, I mean, there's been players for Northampton that's been a little bit more on the ice than him, but he's made his presence known throughout this game. 3 goals in the last 2 games for Dolan. And a 6-2 lead for Northampton with a tad less than 2 minutes to go in the second period. We still got one more period to go here before the end of this first of 3 games of the Phantoms Cup in day 3. Kish on the left dot has Alt behind him. We'll wait. Grubbs on the point. Caused the recent penalty, but did not cost his team in any way. Shot deflected en route towards Kish and would not go. And it's stuck on the board. Several players from both teams trying to get the puck out. It comes free. And Durkin tried to hold on there. He couldn't for long. Grubbs. Over the line he comes. Cutting to the left dot. Grubbs will wait. Centering across. Save. Connaughton as he denies Raider, trying to get his 4th of the night. 1:01 remains on the clock in the second period. Off the tie, Butko, a swap shot on the right dot, went wide. Grubbs forehanding one to Malkov in front there of the net. They were trying to get it to Andrico, but Brent cannot get to it in time. Norwood forehanding in front as the Red Rovers move on in from the left side. That shot is saved there by Desmond Murray. 37 seconds left and counting. Grubbs trying to kick this free. Still stuck in the corner. Easton attempting to scoop it out, and they will. Spielman keeps it onside. Pass through the left point, and the Red Rovers will control. This is Norwood. Again, we're in 0-0. Centering towards the slide, and it will not go. He was trying to get the Spielman, and they couldn't finish the play there. Northampton shoots it down, and this will be an icing against the K-Kids. 10.1 seconds remains on the clock. Again, next game for JV is the consolation game between the Emmaus Hornets and Parkland Trojans. That broadcast is scheduled for 7:30 unless there's any other delays. That'll be game 2 of tonight, but we're still in game 1 here. 6 seconds ago. Here's Dolan on a breakaway. Save me by Kanan. He still had time there, but he couldn't finish it. A 6-2 lead for Northampton after 2. Shots in net 33-22 in favor of the Orange and Black. We'll be back for the third period as Northampton attempts to win their second straight Phantoms Cup in JV. And the horn sounds as the third period of the Junior Varsity Phantoms Cup Championship is about to get underway. Northampton leading 6-2. hoping to win their second consecutive Phantoms Cup and hoping to win their fourth Phantoms Cup in the last 5 years. As the third period has commenced, Easton trailing by 4. The only enemy besides the team they're playing is time, as they're going to have to get as many shots on that on Desmond Murray as possible. Northampton's defense and offense have definitely made that a problem throughout this game. Dolan a shot, save, now no, it's in, they score! It found its way in, and it ricocheted en route. A goal for Northampton, less than 30 seconds into the period, they lead 7-2. I'm waiting to see who they're giving credit to this goal. Looks like it's going to go to Dolan, his second of the night. He's got another one, 2 goals. He had that breakaway to end the second period, but he couldn't tally it in. He does this time. 7-2 Konkrete Kids. And for Dolan, in most games, he has scored at least 1 goal in a game. He's scored 2 or more in every game he's played in terms of when he gets tallies. He hasn't gotten a goal in every single game, but this is his, let's see, his 6-2 goal game or more, regular season and playoffs, as he gives his Konkrete Kids a comfortable 7-2 lead. And Norwood on the wing will try to center it. It's whacked out off the stick of McDaniel. Has a goal. He had a goal in the second period, as well as Rivera. The only 2 goals for Easton tonight. Murray made a save there on the right side of the net there. It's loose in front. And we get a whistle here. I think the official just wanted to call play dead. Sometimes they'll call play dead if they lose sight of the puck. So I think that's why they called the whistle there. Off this face-off, Raider, it's tipped to the stick of Spielman. Falling down is Kish. Spielman at center. Actually, that's McDaniel at center. Spielman is on the ice, though. And the stick is going to be forehanded by Raider and all the way down. Raider again with a hat trick in the first period alone. And they'll try to center it in front, but it's broken up by a few Red Rover sticks in its path. Easton moves back. This is Norwood. Ran to the body there of Butko. And Raider will forehand one to Veracaro. He comes over the line with a few players to pass it to. Backhand Noah feet. He tried to get it to Raider, but went off of a Easton stick. Cleared down by the Red Rovers, and they'll get an icing call against themselves. So as both teams will get a bit of a breather here, they'll move the face-off to the right side of Connaughton, the goaltender for Easton. And off this face-off, the Red Rovers take it. Van Name off the boards. They try to control it on back for trying to see who that was. That was Surface. And Grubbs will have to bring this at center for the Konkrete Kids. Grubbs went off of a few sticks. He comes it over the line. Grubbs waits in wristing one. Save Connaughton. It's loose. Scramble there in the crease. It went off of the chest of the goaltender. It was between his 2 legs. He did not see where it was for a second. And fortunately for him, it stayed out. As Connaughton makes another save off his blocker, that time from Caden Butko. Grubbs from the left point. That shot is blocked down. Easton slaps it back to center ice. Butko forehands one off the boards, deflected off of the pads there of Connaughton. Surface fell down. Easton attempts the forehand one, and they do all the way. Desmond Murray comes way out of his crease. He actually kind of tumbled there trying to get the puck, as both teams will get a line change. Grubbs with space. He'll go into that. Grubbs back, and he scores. Beautiful goal for Grubbs. He's got another one. 2 goals on the night for him. 8-2 lead for the Konkrete Kids. Shane Grubbs, his 7th of the season. A 6-goal lead for the Orange and Black. 13.5 to go in the game. And I think the mercy rule has been implied. I forget what the exact mercy rule is. It's been a while since I've done a game in the LVSHL. But what that means is the clock will keep running continuously, even during whistles. If I remember correctly, it's like if a team has a 6-goal lead or 5-goal. I honestly forget. It's been a little while. Because I remember one time, 2023, when my Southern Lehigh Spartans in Varsity was playing the Central Catholic Saints. They're now known as the Lehigh Valley Saints. We won that game 14-1. I remember at one point, and then came the clock just kept running on its own. I was like, oh, there's a mercy rule. I didn't know, but there is in this case. And Connaughton will hold on here, and the clock will continue the run here at PPL Center. And for Grubbs, this is his second 2-goal game of the season. He also had 2 goals in the game against Parkland right before Christmas. It was on the 23rd of December. But that was one of the best goals, I think, of the night we've seen so far. And the Red Rovers will attempt to get a shot on net from the left circle. That trying to get that chance there. That was Dandridge. Couldn't see his number for a brief second there. McDaniel over the line. Will wait. Cuts to the left side. Center across. Save Murray off the backhand shot. Denying the chance there for Dandridge. Dandridge has had several quality chances on that throughout the game against Desmond Murray, and he just hasn't been able to capitalize on any of them thus far. But he's had good chances regardless. Kish on the corner. Ran into it by Easton player there. I couldn't see who that was. As the Red Rovers move back with a few numbers here. McDaniel trying to guide one across there. And Norwood will pick it up in the slot. And that shot will go wide of Desmond Murray. Keeping it onside there was Surface. And the Konkrete kids will deposit the puck all the way down, but they'll have an icing call here on them, and we'll get a stoppage of play. With about 11 minutes and counting, actually not about, with 11 minutes and counting to go in the game. It's not about, I might as well just say that's how much is just left in this game. Or at least, I should say, to be exact, in regulation, that's how much time we have left. And off this time, Northampton will take it. Grubbs, the recent goal scorer. Watch out if we can see him getting a hat trick. We already have one hat trick from Raider. Also, watch out and see if Dolan will potentially get a hat trick as he already has 2 goals on the night as well. Matute lost sight of it for a second. Will try to regain control. He couldn't. Gibbons on the right side, shooting one deflected en route. And this will be brought back by Van Name, kept it onside. The puck might went off of Des Murray. He put his 2 arms up in the air trying to get a piece of it, but it stays out anyway. Grubbs with Caitlin Molikoff on the wing. Grubbs on the left dot. Runs into Van Name. Looking for some reinforcements. He has Alt. He'll get it to him on the left corner. Alt will wait on the angle. Centering in front. Dolan! Deflected en route and goes out of play. Dolan trying to get the playoff natural hat trick, but unable to finish it there as we've just passed the 10-minute mark of this game. Easton will attempt to forehand it back, but Ruff will intercept the play. Dolan, this is blocked by an Easton forward who went off his skates. I'm trying to see who it was. I'm sorry if there's so many times where we're saying Easton player, just because the number's a little hard to spot. But anyways, Spielman will back it. Well, actually, forehand one back to the corner. As the Red Rovers clear it on back, they'll try to chase for it on the wing, trying to go after this is Tesis. Tesis on the left side. Shot from the angle, saved by Desmond Murray. Murray's been doing a good job covering those tight spots in tight. And he makes another save there with the pass. It's loose, and it goes in, they score! It found its way through. The Red Rovers get their 3rd goal of the game. It's now an 8-3 lead for the Konkrete kids. Trying to see, I'm actually going to look at the replay. I'm not sure who they're giving credit for that. I have to relook at the replay just to get confirmation. And based on the replay I just witnessed, they're going to give the goal over to Luke Steele, his 10th of the year. I just wanted to be sure. I wasn't sure if another Red Rover tipped it. So he gets the goal, and the Red Rovers now trail by 5. Larry Caro, actually, that's wrong player. That's Fowler Caro, not any Caro. I'm thinking of a different player. Tipped it there to the corner. This puck almost goes to Ruff. It's blocked by Raider. Kept on side by Ruff. Raider on the angle, trying to shoot one. It goes off the bar. The puck went off the left pipe, to be exact, as he's trying to get his fourth of the game. Again, he had a hat trick in the first period alone. As Dolan attempted, actually, as Raider trying to scoop it free. He couldn't as the Red Rovers move back through neutral ice. McDaniels will chase it down. He'll take it. McDaniels with the shot. Chest save made by Desmond Murray. It's a center there to McDaniel, but it's taken away by Decker. Fan name a slap shot, and actually ducking his head for cover was rough there. I don't blame him. That was a winding slap shot. Back comes Northampton on 2-1 as Raiders' pass was blocked in front. And falling down there was Very Coro. Here's Bucko with a shot from the point and ricochet towards the net, and Kanan will hold on. So there we go. I think now I remember what exactly the mercy rule is, because right now Northampton leads by 5, an 8-3 lead, and the clock is stopped. So now I remember it's when a team leads by 6 or more. It's when the mercy rule comes into play. So as of now, it is not active. So the clock is stopped at the whistle. So there we go. It's been a little bit since I've called a game in this league. The last broadcast I did for the LVSHL prior to this one was Game 2 of the Varsity final of last year's Phantoms Cup between the Levi Saints and Bethlehem Nassar. So it's been a little while. And come to think, I know I said last year I was going to be done covering the Scotland League, but you know what? Things change. I mean, I wasn't around the league at all during the regular season, but I was kind of keeping track of it. But sometimes things change, and I'm glad to be back here for a little bit today. Durkin trying to clear one through, and Grubbs will take it for Northampton. Grubbs fell down. Actually, he got tangled up there by Rivera. Raider to Kish on the left side. Hit the crossbar. Rebound save. Kanan with the left pad. Barricaro with the chance on that. Falicaro. I'm sorry if I mispronounced the name. Falicaro with the follow-up try, but Northampton unable to get their 9th goal of the night on those chances on net. Falicaro behind the net. Will wait. Towards the defender. Grubbs skating on through. And he still has the puck. He ran to an Easton stick. Grubbs still waits. Grubbs pass across for a high. Tip towards the net. It went off at Kanan. And gravity brought the puck down after it went up into the air. 6 minutes to go in the game. As Northampton leads 8-3. They're trying to win their 2nd consecutive Phantoms Cup championship in JV. And a halted play with 5:40 to go in this one. Again, our next game is scheduled at 7:30. The JV consolation game between the Parkland Trojans and the Emmaus Hornets. I'm wondering if it could be a little delayed because it's 7:16 right now. This game was delayed by 6 minutes. And obviously, regardless on who wins, we'll have a team that will be celebrating the Phantoms Cup championship for at least a few extra minutes. This is the only game tonight where we can have a championship winner, as the next game is a consolation game, and the varsity game coming up is a best-of-3 series, and it'll be game 1 tonight. Monday, though, there could be at least 2 championships, one at most 3, involving a championship for elementary, middle school, and we'll have game 2 of the varsity series. Decker almost held on to it there, and he'll go to NST, who scored the latest goal for the Red Rovers. Ran into by the stick of Matute. McDaniel, it's tipped towards Norwood. Matute trying to kick it on free. It just gets past the blue line. Final 5 minutes to go in the hockey game. Decker near the Easton bench. Brings it past the blue line here. He'll hit it off the boards towards Dolan. Dolan scooping on free in the left corner. Centering there for Alt. He'll wait. He'll get the puck back and he'll shoot one. It goes off of an Easton skate and towards the corner. Dolan from the right side. Saved there by Connaughton with his 2 leg pads, making the save there. And Stu has a breakaway on the outlet pass. Goes into that. He whiffed on the shot. Gets it back anyway. He scores! His second of the night. Beats Murray as the Red Rovers are now trailing by 4. It's an 8-4 lead for Northampton. And Stu has scored the last 2 straight goals for the Red Rovers. It's the 11th of the season. As Easton doing everything they can to come back into this one. I'll let you know if they pull their goaltender Tyler Kanan to get an extra attacker. They're down by 4 with 4 minutes to go in the hockey game. And for SU, this is his 4th 2-goal game or more. He had 4 goals against Emmaus earlier in the year, 2 goals against Parkland, and another 2-goal game against Parkland earlier this season. And he has 2 tonight here in the playoffs. Grubbs on defense, backhands it off the boards. Tried to bring it over the line, but he couldn't. Flowers trying to scoop it back up. Tease will bring it past the blue line for Easton, and he'll shoot that wide of Desmond Murray. Rivera trying to pick it on up. He can't. Rivera gets it right back at a goal in this second period. Grubbs falls down. Almost thought that might have been a trip. It was not. We play on Red Rovers attempted to center it in the slot. It's broken up by all. Here's Dolan. He's got a breakaway with a hat trick. He scores! 2 hat tricks on the night for Northampton. This one belongs to Dolan. 9-2, Konkrete Kids. Raider had the hat trick in the first period. Dolan has one of his own now. A 9-4 lead for Northampton with 3:08 to go in the game. His second hat trick of the season, had a hat trick against Emmaus in mid-January. And he's got 1 in the playoffs. Certainly a hat trick he will certainly not forget anytime soon, as it may have played a role. Actually, not may. It definitely plays a role if Northampton wins this game. As they lead by 5 with 2:15 counting left in the game. Surface behind his net, the defenseman. Forehands one off the right corner boards. Norwood will pitchfork it back to center ice, but it'll be taken by Decker. 2.5 to go in the game. Kish just goes off of his skate. Kish to Grubbs. Grubbs will wait. He'll forehand one as he turns in the angle, and he was unable to finish the play there. Easton clears it down, and this will not be icing as the puck just slowed down before it crossed the line. This puck goes up the stick and skates of Kish and all the way down. Surface delays and forehands went all the way down for Daniel. Here's McDaniel on a 1-on-1. Toe drag, shot the defender, went away, and a glove save is made by Murray. Decker seemed to lose an edge there, and as they couldn't get it past the Northampton goaltender on that try. 1:49 remains in the game. The shots on net are 44-31 in favor of Northampton. Easton controls on the back. Titus hit that puck went off the stick of Ruff. Caitlin Molikoff tried to forehand one back, but Titus will regroup. And this will go to the guy who's had a lot of chances on that today, Dandridge. Dandridge, another shot on that save by Murray. I don't have there's no live box score I can find to show how many shots he's had on that, but he's had a lot of good chances all game long tonight for the Red Rovers. I was mentioning earlier how Doug, who does our video producing here for the Phantoms, is here, and right next to him in the Northampton bench is the Phantoms director of PR, Connor Lawrence. He's done his part helping out the Phantoms Cup once again. He's done a good job here. I actually worked with him quite a bit last year interning with the Phantoms. He actually had a bit of a segment talking about the Phantoms Cup during the Phantoms Live Radio in the first intermission when Lehigh Valley played at Utica the other day. He did a really good job. And admittedly, I actually did the same thing last year as an intern, making an audio recap to be played on the Phantoms Radio Network. And I must admit, Connor is doing a much better job than what I did last year. Although I don't think I did too bad, but he kind of, when I listened to it the other day, it kind of showed how the professionals do it. He's also writing the articles for the Phantoms Cup this year as well. Last minute to play in the hockey game, as Northampton is looking to win their second straight Phantoms Cup in JV, their fourth in 5 years. I mean, Northampton's hockey teams in all fronts has had a great reputation for themselves. Three of their 4 teams in the divisions for JV, varsity, and middle school made the playoffs. Their elementary team did not, but as of right now, at least one of them will go home as champions. Butko on the point. Wristing one, save. Connaughton comes free there for a height. He fell down, took a shot anyway. There's his save by Connaughton. As time's going to wind down here at PPL Center. For the second year in a row and the 4th time in 5 seasons, the Northampton Konkrete Kids in junior varsity of the LVSHL Phantoms Cup champions. A rally in front of the goaltender, Desmond Murray. He had a very good performance. He saves 28 of 32 as he's a champion goaltender for Northampton's JV team for the second year in a row. Northampton ends their season on a 5-game winning streak, an overall record of 10-0-2, and they've won back-to-back Phantom Cup championships. Phantoms Director of Ticket Sales, Trevor Herrick, has the Phantoms Cup in his hands and award it to the champions themselves momentarily. But first, of course, is a tradition that goes back in hockey for many years, the handshake line. Murray and Connaughton, the 2 goaltenders in this matchup, will lead the lines for their respective teams as this game comes to an end. Final score, Northampton 9, Easton 4. Shots on net, 47-32 in favor of the Konkrete Kids. What a team for Northampton. Easton unable to get a single win against the Konkrete Kids this year. They had good chances on net, but just not enough tallies getting past the goaltender known as Desmond Murray. As this game, I'll keep the stream on for a little bit longer so you guys can witness Northampton getting the Phantoms Cup, and they do. Grubbs is the first to be awarded the trophy from Trevor Herrick. Each player will take their turn. They might not get as much time out here as compared to the varsity teams that win the Phantoms Cups, but they'll at least get this moment here. I'll bring it to center ice and get in a photo that these young men will cherish for many years to come, hopefully. And for some of these guys hoping to win more Phantoms Cups in the future with potentially the varsity team down the line, which is something we've seen with these Northampton teams over the years, where some of the players will be on their younger teams, will end up winning championships with the higher-ranked teams. Some will win back-to-back Phantom Cups with 2 separate teams in the same day, too, which I've seen before. I've seen my buddy McCray Ross one year win a Phantoms Cup championship with Northampton's JV team and varsity on the same day. Northampton wins 9-4, their second straight Phantoms Cup, their 4th Phantoms Cup in the last 5 years. I'm Nicholas Garofalo. Thank you for joining us for another edition of Nick's Hockey Broadcast, but I'm not done. The stream's going to be shut down, but we got another game. It's the JV consolation game between the Parkman Trojans and the Emmaus Hornets. It was scheduled for 7:30. It's 7:27. They have to clean the ice first, so I'm sure we're not going to start for a little bit. There's definitely going to be a delay, but I'll get the stream started in a little bit. See you for the next game. But if not, thank you for joining us. Northampton wins 9-4. They are the 2026 Phantoms Cup champions.